Uh-oh. I guess so. Remix.
Someone is.
Should I go get those mics? So we won't need them.
I got them.
If I could ask everybody, please get seated.
Just need a.
Size sort of enough.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I said no.
I'll just wait till. Yeah. We'll wait one more minute. Wait till 11:10.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm just gonna jump in.
Do it.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. We hope you are all refreshed and ready because we are now moving on to our keynote presentation. So if I could have everybody take a seat, that would be lovely. Bestine.
Are you still thinking about the agenda?
Oh, yes. Before I introduce our keynote speaker, I wanted to just apologize. Our agenda does have two errors in TJ Haywahay, who presented this morning on grants and proposal writing. So I apologize about that, as well as Terry Leroux's bio is incorrect too. So I hope you'll all give me the grace and understanding and forgive me for that one. But I wanted to say welcome back. We hope you are all refreshed and ready because we are now moving on to our keynote presentation. I would like to introduce Natasha Bastine from Silver Sage. She is their president and CEO, and she will join us to present now. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm just going to start off by letting you know this is the first time I've ever done a keynote speech. Very nervous. But, I just want to acknowledge the Cook and Brenda, TJ, and the ladies. The words you spoke this morning, gave me that empowerment I needed to be able to get up here and share. The other thing I'm very thankful for today is been working with Indigenous housing for the past 25 years. This is the first time in my career that housing has ever been part of an economic development space. So I'm very pleased that we finally made it here. We've always been regulated to the social side of the models. But to me, housing is a lot more than that. And so, as I share today, again, I'm nervous, so bear with me. I'm hoping that we can, forge ahead together and make new models to both improve living conditions for Indigenous people and then to share some of those gains that come with real estate. And so just so you know, I can't see far, so this works perfect for me. I'll just take off my glasses. That'll alleviate some of the nervousness. So again, my name is Natasha Bastine, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be contributing here in Treaty 4 territory. I am a helper from Treaty 7, the traditional territory of the Blackfoot, who are located in southern Alberta and Montana. My home community is the Piikani Nation. I was recruited in 2021 by the board of directors of Silver Sage to provide leadership and facilitate expansion and growth for the company. It wasn't an easy decision to leave my home territory, but the potential I saw to offer empowerment compelled me to take that risk. And again, this morning, I heard a lot of speakers, and including the elders, speak about that, the importance of that empowerment to our people. And hence why I was so nervous to get up here. I'm new to this territory, and I don't know a lot of people, and I didn't know what kind of audience to expect. So those words this morning, meant a lot to me. So again, as we gather here today to discuss cultivating economic resilience through collaboration, I am excited to share the Silver Sage story, but I'm also reminded of sharing the importance of recognizing the past, present, and future through a housing lens. Throughout history, Indigenous people thrived in harmony with the land and with each other long before the era of colonization. The teepee structure stands out as one of the greatest gifts of creation, particularly vital for our survival on the plains. Serving not only as shelter, but also as a profound symbol of connection, the teepee encompassed values and concepts that were central to our way of life. Its engineering brilliance mirrored our deep understanding of our place within creation, and our responsibilities to care for sacred spaces. Concepts like the home fire taught us to honor shelter as a nurturing sanctuary, a place where we could retreat individually and as families from the demands of the physical world. The signing of treaties marked a significant shift in this landscape, introducing a series of imposed policies that profoundly reshaped our way of life. These actions disrupted our harmony and led to the housing challenges we confront today, both individually and collectively as Indigenous people, hindering our development efforts. On reserve, the restricted land tenure system poses challenges in attracting investment, as it offers limited opportunities for capital gains. Policy obstacles and entrenched poverty also exacerbate these difficulties for us to continue to develop housing and meet the needs of our peoples. In urban areas, we also face market challenges, including the inflationary factors, low housing vacancy rates, coupled with the high demands for affordable housing. The presence of higher interest rates that we are seeing now pose a challenge to our capacity to meet for the growing demand. And it also hampers our ability to create new developments and keep them affordable. However, amidst these challenges, we are hopeful because we are resilient. As we look to the future, it is essential for us to envision a path forward that recognizes economic partnerships. One such model to emulate is the company I'm working for now, Silver Sage. Silver Sage boasts a 40-year legacy of providing affordable housing to Indigenous peoples and families residing in urban centers. It's a privilege to work alongside the board of directors and the operations team, ensuring our efforts meet the pressing housing needs of Indigenous people in the communities where we operate. In addition, I would like to recognize the First Nation members of our nonprofit community, and Chief Jeremy mentioned most of them this morning. Without their unwavering commitment to sustainability and social responsibility, we would not have this beautiful lifeline that countless Indigenous people and families depend on and that reside in our units. Over the years, Silver Sage has adeptly navigated the intricate landscape of housing development and management, upholding both cultural integrity and financial sustainability in a mainstream market system. Through collaboration and innovation, Silver Sage has expanded its portfolio while staying faithful to its mission of offering high-quality, affordable housing to Indigenous people. Though the organization has faced challenges along the way, we continue to persistently strive for improvement. We are proud to be an economic driver where we input millions and millions of dollars into the local economy each year, collaborating with local businesses and suppliers to ensure our properties are valued and maintained. Additionally, we have also inputted millions into the property tax system in the urban communities we serve. So what does the future look like for Silver Sage? Well, it's in creation, meaning the development of an Indigenous pathway to homeownership as a model of instilling belonging and pride in community, which aligns with our vision. Our model holds the potential for innovative housing solution that not only addresses immediate needs, but also paves the way for long-term sustainability and prosperity. Most importantly, it will hold the vision of Indigenous people and communities reclaiming economic sovereignty and sacred space, empowered by safe, affordable housing that honors Indigenous tradition and values. So that's what I put together, and that comes from my heart, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to stand up here and share some of that. But I'd also like to share a little bit more about Silver Sage. So we'll just go to the slides. I'm do I just click the green button? So just to give you an idea of Silver Sage, as mentioned, we are a 40-year legacy organization serving Southern Saskatchewan. We provide a scope of services, housing services to meet the needs of Indigenous people. We offer some emergency housing. We also partner with local community-based organizations and the communities we serve, as well as with our First Nation partners to offer supportive transitional housing. Our big portfolio that we offer is the income-based housing, which keeps things affordable. And then we also have affordable market rentals. And again, what we're working on right now is that Indigenous pathway to affordable home ownership that, again, aligns with our values and what we've seen and what we've engaged with the people that are looking to move towards this area. And, we speak about traditional territory. And I think that's one of the beautiful things is to have our people, move within those territories, reclaim their own individual space, which then speaks to individual sovereignty as a homeowner and the pride that comes with that and the contributions to community. It's a very holistic approach and something that I've always supported as a housing specialist or a lifelong career in housing. So what's our operational model look like? We have two companies. One is our Silver Sage Housing Corporation. Again, houses our income-based rental units. And in this portfolio, our rent is charged at 25% of income. Of course, you got to meet some, be in need and meet some of the, income limits that we set. And under this portfolio, we have 379 units that we manage. And then we also have the Silver Sage Holding Company, and this is more of the innovative side of things, as I like to see it. Under Silver Sage Holdings, we offer affordable rental units. So right now, and I hope it stays this way, we're able to charge rent at 60% of market rates. As we're a social enterprise, so our goal at this moment is not to drive profit, it is to break even. So that allows us to be able to offer that affordable market rent. Again, under the holdings company, we also enter into supportive and transitional housing partnerships. And our most recent one went up here in Regina on 120 Broad Street, where we partnered with our sister organization, Regina Treaty Status Indian Services, who are the actual tenant in the building, supporting some of the individuals in the city that need that supportive help to move into permanent housing. Excuse me. Innovation and opportunity development is some of the things we do under our holdings company as well. So we have a few things cooking, including the affordable home ownership program we're hoping to offer. And as well as we also offer project and property management services. So that's a new one. We're building the capacity internally, but again, we have 40 years of experience managing properties. And then we've also got into some of the project management. So that's something we're looking on expanding on. Under this company, we hold right now 220 units. So in total, Silver Sage manages 599 units in various locations. So beginning east and all through southern Saskatchewan at Maple Creek, Swift Current, Moose Jaw. The majority of our properties are here in Regina, Fort Capel, Raymore, Quinton, Sintaluta, and Indian Head. So just to give you an idea of what our properties look like. And again, we value our properties and we want to ensure they're maintained, not only for the market value, but also we believe at Silver Sage that in order for our people to be empowered and to move along the housing continuum, you need that safe space. And that again aligns with some of those teachings that we've learned growing up or we're learning now, including the home fire. So you can't put somebody in a space that's not conducive to the energy and expect them to grow and thrive. So that's something we really pay attention to. These are some of our townhome properties that we rent. So one would be located in Swift Current and then the other in Moose Jaw. I mean, not Moose Jaw, sorry, here in Regina. This is our mature living facility, the Sun Lodge. Right now, it boasts the biggest solar panel array in Regina. It's a beautiful facility and, really enjoy Uh, they're mostly seniors that are residing in this facility, but really enjoy, seeing them come together as community. Some of the ideas that came forward the other day is to start offering the opportunity for youth to come forward and sit with the elders in this space, and perhaps doing like entertainment nights or talent shows. So we really try to make our properties, our whole Silver Sage opportunity, our operations, a community. This is one of our transition supportive housing facilities that we rent to programmers. This here is in Regina, and again, how we work that kind of partnership is we are property managers, landlords, if you will. So we prefer to stay in our lane, in our area of expertise, because we know there's several fantastic community-based organizations and First Nation groups out there that provide the wraparound supports that are really just looking for the space. So that's what Silver Sage commits to, is we provide space for these organizations so that they're able to, be more effective in the things they do and help more individuals and families move along the housing continuum. And again, here's our most recent project. It's called the Horse Dance Lodge, and it was Regina's first rapid housing initiative that we were very fortunate to be a part of and actually lead at Silver Sage. So we elected to go with a modular build. So that whole building went up in 2 days like Lego. So it was a very innovative approach. We've had it energy modeled, and it's exceeding the standards that have been set right now. So I mean, you never want to say you're looking forward to getting the bills, but we actually are to see what the energy looks like, or how it's working in this facility. It's currently full. And we're very proud of this building. And so what is our need for housing? And I just want to share, how critical it is. In our Indigenous communities, we've always had a housing crisis. We're seeing it go more mainstream right now. When I first came into Regina about 2 years ago, the vacancy rate for rentals on the private market was around 7%. As of end of 2022, it's 1.4. So there's a huge need for housing out there. And, again, it was always an Indigenous crisis, the lack of housing. As it's moving mainstream, I encourage you to come talk to us, because again, that's where our resilience kicks in. We've been facing this for a long time, and, we continue to persevere, and that really demonstrates our resilience. So just at Silver Sage alone, in 2022, we had a total of 263 applicants come through the door. We were able to house 70 of them. So again, at the end of that year, we were left with 193 that we couldn't assist. So those numbers are growing. The demand is growing. And again, just, looking at the economy right now and the banking industry, it's very difficult to enter into mortgage loans when you're an affordable operator. Because of those high interest rate, it really compromises our ability to keep the rents affordable. So, that's one thing we're not looking at the moment, but, we're hoping, like everybody else, those interest rates start to lower, because we really need to start addressing that need. We're also willing to entertain partnerships. So I encourage you to come and see me or my colleague Regan, and we can share what we can with you and see how we can all work together. And again, just very pleased to be here. I thank you for all listening to me. My first keynote speech ever. I'm kind of thank you. I'm kind of prefer to work, just in the background, commanding, no, from the command center. So not one of those out there kind of CEOs, but, always willing to listen. Very introverted, but extroverted when I need to be. And again, that's more of, I guess, a cultural thing in terms of how I was raised, but get me up in front of a karaoke, you'll never get me down. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna have some questions.
Yeah, we'd like to open up to the floor if anybody has any questions for our keynote speaker.
We heard early. I don't know if this is on. There we go. Thank you. We heard earlier from women in leadership positions. And so do you have any advice in terms of women coming up the chain in terms of being CEOs?
Great question. I heard from the ladies and actually they inspired me. Being a leader to me is, really empowering your people. It really isn't about me. It's about the people I serve and the people that are helping me. So, and I think again, that goes back to the values, the Indigenous values. So for me, anyone that's a leader, it's about empowering. And I think that's the whole reason why I came and took this journey and this risk was because when I came out here and seen what Silver Sage was about, I just seen so many opportunities to empower. I'm very blessed to work with such a great team at Silver Sage. And, at the beginning, when I first started, I asked my managers in life, what drives you? Because I needed to know, how do I motivate you? They didn't know that at the time. And so I shared what mine was, and that was growth. I love to see things grow. I love to see people grow. I love to see buildings built. I love spring. I hate winter. So, all those things, it's really about empowering and recognizing that, you're there to bring everybody else along with you. It's not about me. Thank you.
Hello. Thanks for that. You did for your first keynote. You did an awesome keynote. Maybe we can give you another round of applause for that.
Oh, thank you.
And I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what role renewable energy. We saw some solar panels on some of those developments. What role renewable energy plays and energy efficiency in your developments, and maybe tie that into Indigenous values a bit, earthkeeping.
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. So when it comes to, and this is my personal perspective, when it comes to energy efficiency, to me, it's about the building envelope. So it's making sure that we have that insulation value so that, that and the good windows, really, practical common sense approaches to building. When it comes to, the new technologies, there's challenges there. So like, as you see in our solar panels, if you don't really think about it holistically when you're engaging in these new technologies, they won't work as well as you think they will. So for us at the Sun Lodge, one day I climbed up to the roof with, some of this team to look at these solar panels. Again, I'm not used to these winters, but one of the things I don't think we planned, but I'm glad we caught it for our maintenance, is when you get that snow, if you don't get that snow off those solar panels, they're useless, right? You're not going to get what they're intended to do. We've talked about solar panels on asphalt roofing. Well, one of the things that I've noticed, I haven't proven it, it's not proven, but again, just on observation and from a common sense, is you put them on the asphalt roofing and then, they get the heat, but then they start cupping your shingles. So, then now you have a roof issue. So, there's a lot of those things that I think as we move into these new, innovative technologies that are, supposed to support the energy efficiency, they're costly. I, really look at what that's going to look like on the long term for the maintenance. And again, but I'm a strong supporter of that, strong building envelope and that value to keep the heat and maintain everything within the inside of the building. So if you're going to build a house, that's a good approach to go.
Are there any more questions from the audience? Oh, we've got two more.
Hello, I'm Rob Desjardins, and I'm with the Sask Health Authority, and more so a comment than a question. As someone who grew up in social housing and the importance of it, that social housing allowed my mother to save and purchase her own home, which helped uplifted our family. And currently, I think a lot of people are aware there is a housing crisis that is happening not only here, but across Canada. And there are 10 cities that are popping up that largely affect our people. And housing is one of the main issues with health. So I think that it's important that people familiarize themselves with your organization, other organizations that provide housing to First Nations people, and to support you and to continue that amazing work. So thank you.
Thank you. And if I can just add on to your comment, thank you for that. Just want to share, and you know, I usually don't share personally, but when I was young and we left the res, it was social housing and it was organizations like Silver Sage that really allowed my family to grow and thrive. I don't think I would be here today had it not been for that journey. You know, and then just I honestly would have been at Takata because when I went to school, I was studying HR and it kind of just fell into housing as a summer student at a tribal council. And I remember sitting through my first CMHC workshop and they were talking mortgages, P&I, all these things, like it just went way over my head. And you know, this is in my early 20s when you mean house, you know, we mortgage houses on reserve, like, you know, that education piece isn't there as well. So I think that's one of the things we need to work on, is to continue to educate our own people that, you know, these are some of the ways that that First Nations chief and councils are able to develop housing. Fast forward to, you know, what I was able to learn, homeowner, was able to encourage my younger brother and sister to be a homeowner, where my sister's now, you know, trying to be a little Donald Trump in our town. And she has a couple of properties that she sits on and rents. And, you know, that's how she makes her living. So thank you.
Good morning, Natosha. Edmund Belgard, disclosure, I am on the Silver Sage Board of Directors, so work closely with Natasha. When we started the recruiting process a few years ago in 2021, it was critical for Silver Sage to find a leader that could take us into that next opportunity, into that next era, to really move the organization forward. So we believe we found a housing rock star in Alberta with Natosha. So great job. You definitely made me feel proud of our organization and the future that is to come. So I want you to talk about the economic opportunity in the housing supply chain.
Okay. Thank you, Edmund. Now I feel like this might be for performance evaluation. Okay, so so if you don't have housing, you don't have a community. To me, housing is so connected to every aspect of life. Again, you know, we want to decrease the children taking out of care. Well, we need housing. Those families, those parents need a home to reunite their families. We want to improve education rates, our success rates of our Indigenous students. They need a healthy home to live. What's been missing is that economic development piece. And that is so all encompassing that we haven't even actualized maybe in our communities or in our minds, the potential that's there. You know, that's small businesses, that's the trades, that's, you know, real estate, that's market value, that's so many things, that's lending. My big one. When I learned amortization, I learned how they do it. No. You know, it's a fight against the big, I hope I heard RBC's here. It's a fight against the big banks. And he made such a great comment. Okay. So, you know, that's what, you know, that's where we want to go as Indigenous people. You know, we've been in this social model, and I'm not saying it doesn't, it's definitely needed. Everybody's at their own, everyone's on their own path and at their own levels on this journey. But, you know, we got to recognize that there's a lot of are people that are succeeding. And at some point we need to, assist them there. And that's with the home ownership. And we also need to keep some of this amortization interest principle into our own model so that we can, start being an economic player. When I say we're big contributors of the economy, because when our money comes into our communities, it goes directly out. In order for us to have an economy, it needs to change hands several times. And that's something we haven't got to yet. And I'm hoping in this room, that's the inspiration, is to understand that we need to have those economies in our community and uplift ourselves from this poverty in order for us to be exactly where we are in mainstream. And I think one of the things that is important to touch on or understand is, it's very difficult to want to make an investment into buying your own home on reserve lands due to the land restriction. Because once an individual makes that investment, we don't get the same playing field as the mainstream market. It's, if we're gonna sell, it's to another member, provided that member has, the ability to buy it. So it's not like here in Regina where house prices are rising and it's being competitive. We don't get that opportunity in our community, hence why you would see a lack of individual investment. Although the federal government has made moves with the creation of the First Nation Market Housing Fund to try and push that. That's one of the things, if you're going to make that investment and pay for that, you have to do it with the understanding that, there is no equity that comes with this, the building of equity. There is no capital gains. And, then we talk about human rights. Is that fair? We would like the same level playing field as a mainstream market, but right now we don't have it. So the only thing we can do is go into a mainstream market and reclaim space for ourselves through home ownership.
Thanks for your presentation. My question is about NIMBYism, not in my backyard. Full disclosure, by the way, I'm the former mayor of Regina. I know you're new to us, from the Pat Fiacco. Tell us about that, your experience in regards to Silver Sage, and the challenges of getting into neighborhoods with possibly new and existing housing.
Thank you. NIMBYism. Well, one of the things we did right off the bat when I came into Silver Sage is we're going ahead to build the market or the horse dance lodge. And we had the NIMBYism issue. So we created our good neighbor strategy. We understand that people in communities have house values, they have safety concerns. We have the same concerns too. So it was really about bridging that and making them, supporting what their fears were around it and engaging with them. So like everything in our Indigenous world comes in four, we too held 4 events. The first one was just the community meet and greet. And this was, along the lines of, we wanted to get rid of the NIMBYism. So we invited the community to come in, people came in and we answered questions. And, once you build that relationship, the relative, it usually goes away because it's fear and it's a lack of understanding, right? About what we were trying to do. Then we had our groundbreaking ceremony. The community was invited as well to that. We held our craning ceremony. The community was invited to that as well. And then our final grand opening, which was, I didn't expect the amount of people that showed up to support this building. Like we had, over 150 people there, waiting. And again, I really credit it to engaging the community along the way and building that relationship. And then just enforcing this good neighbor strategy. So, it's there, but it's how you deal with it, right? We knew we were doing nothing wrong. We're just, we're building a beautiful building. And then even in that building, we wanted to make sure that it was something that neighborhood could be proud of. So usually it's like a lot of misconceptions. So we're hoping that, well, I feel that approach helped alleviate some of that.
Are there any more questions from the audience? Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Natasha. Thanks for coming out today. Oh, Natasha. I get to you. Thank you, Natasha, on your presentation. Before we head into lunch, I'd like to make a quick thank you to our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor today is Indigenous Services Canada, or ISC. Our advocate sponsor is First Nation and Métis Health. Our health break sponsor is Enbridge. Our lunch sponsor is Great Plains Contracting. Our networking sponsor is Tourism Saskatchewan Canada. Our media sponsor is Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority. We have 4 partner sponsors: Blue Earth Renewables, First Nation Bank of Canada, PCL Construction, and Topa Contracting. And we have 7 corporate sponsors: Virtus Group, D3H Hotels, Scotiabank, Royal Bank, Farm Credit Canada, Edward School Business, and Concentra Trust.
Without your generosity, support, and commitment to economic reconciliation, we wouldn't have the opportunity to collaborate with each other and build economic resilience. All right, so now it's lunchtime, followed by networking, so we all have enough time to mingle before we get into this afternoon's presentations.
We'll see you all back here around 1:30. Or no, yeah, 1:30. Enjoy. Thank you. I'm Justina. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much.
So of course we can provide